Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn to configure group paging in Inform Voice. Here's how the feature works. The group page is initiated by a single user with the appropriate rights. The page is sent to all the members of the paging group, subject to the availability obviously, and the resulting media path is one way only, from the initiator to the recipients. Let's take a look at the characteristics of the feature. The feature is offered free of charge. There is no license required. The media server is the element within Inform Voice that handles the feature, and the media server supports up to 4 simultaneous pages. As per number of users, it supports from 2 to 128 recipients. I mention each media server because as of now, Inform Voice supports only one UCM, the primary, which holds only one media server, but in the very near future, we will be able to support a secondary server as well, which adds one media server. In the event of insufficient resources, there are two ways to operate. Either the page continues with as many recipients as it can, or the page fails and sends a kind of a reorder tone to the initiator. And finally, the paging addresses can be searched via the UC client or the mobile client. We have two types of paging, open and secure. Open paging means anybody can trigger the page. There is no requirement. Secure paging, the users must have rights to access that paging address group. And when the page is initiated, the user will be prompted for its extension number and password to continue. Here is a graphical view of how the feature operates. The initiator sends a message to the media server in Inform Voice asking to initiate the page. The media server either grants the page or asks for identification if secure paging was assigned to that paging group. Then the media server initiates a call to all the recipients. The recipients who are not available are canceled, and the rest of them, when everybody are ready, the media server informs the paging initiator that the user can start talking. And then the audio goes one way from the initiator to the recipients. So let's assign an example to show you how it's done. Here we have our Inform Voice Administrator utility, which is already connected to our Inform Voice server. And in order to assign the feature, we need to create the group. So when we create the group, we need to do it through the General tab. We expand the properties here, and we find one that's called address groups. We have several address groups, but we will create a new one, and we will give them the paging characteristics. So we will add a paging group. My paging group will work with terminals in Las Vegas, so I will just name it Paging Las Vegas. And in order to make this group a paging group, I have to flag this group paging checkbox. And I'm asked to allow the first 128 eligible addresses to be able to be paged. And I say yes. Now I have to give the paging group a number. So I can add the number straight from here. So I will add the number, and now it will list all the available group paging addresses I have. As I have none, I can create a new one straight from here. As you can see, is a different type of address. It's called group paging address. I will create a group paging address 6630. My paging address will work in Las Vegas because my paging group is in Las Vegas. It doesn't mean that people from other zones can't operate that paging or call that paging. It's just where the zone is. And I will name the extension or the address paging Las Vegas. Here is a checkbox that allows us to see this address in UC client or mobile client. I hit OK, and I hit OK. So my number now shows here. Okay, finally, I have to add the destinations of the paging group. So I can add them from here. I have two extensions here on my desk, the 3005 and the 3008, so I can flag them and add them. You can see I can select if a member of this group will be part of the paging or not. In this case, all of them will. So I just say OK. So at this point, I created an open paging group. So let's see how it works. I will open up here my client so you can see it, and I will dial my paging group extension. As you can see, it's very easy. The paging executed, the speakers of the destination extensions are open. This happens because the specific stations I'm using support auto answer on incoming calls. Some stations or brands will be able to support it, some not. Okay, so we just assigned an open paging group. So let's make it secure now. So we'll go to my paging group, and I will make it secure by clicking on this address group rights required to page. I will apply it. Now I need to assign the users that will have the right to trigger this paging group. So I can go to the rights tab here and add the user. I have a user for this, it's Jeff Abrams. Now, as you can see, the paging is disabled here. I cannot enable from this screen in particular. I need to go to the user. So I can go to the user straight from here. I click here and I go to its properties. Okay, it says I didn't make the changes. I want to make the changes. So I go to my user and I go to a user rights tab of that user. And here you can see the address group is assigned to the user, but the paging capability is not. So I will add the paging capability here. Now, as you can see, it's reflected here. So now my paging group is secure. So let's see how it operates now.
Please enter your extension followed by the pound key. Please enter your password followed by the pound key.
And there you have it. I had to dial the extension number that identifies the user, the address that identifies the user, and the password. Let me show you real quick where the password is. Under the Users tab, I go to my user, and this is the password I dialed. This that says user authentication phone access. That's the password I need to dial. And this is the address of the user. Now let me make you just a quick comment. This user in particular is not user-centric. So this made the system ask me for my extension number and my password. So let's make the user user-centric. And now let's try again. Now it didn't ask me for anything because it validated the user already. Because being the user user-centric doesn't require the authentication because it's already authenticated. That's what I wanted to show you, that it's a difference between non-user-centric user and user-centric user when it comes to this feature. So, in summary, we learned how to define a paging group. We learned how to assign an open paging group and a secure paging group. So with that, I thank you. See you in the next video.